What's happening, YouTube? Wow, we have a lot to break down here. We've got more breaking news with Terra Luna. Kwon is speaking. He's got a proposal. Will it work? We have no idea, but this has been just absolutely crazy. Right now, we're seeing a lot of day traders come in. You can only find Terra on some exchanges. Binance has recently brought it back. A lot of exchanges have let it go. For instance, I mentioned on crypto.com, I had 40 Luna, paid about 2,400, and it's worth about 38 cents right now. So I got burned. I know a lot of people got really burned, so I don't feel too bad about where I'm at. I mean, it sucks, but I know, I've been seeing things on Twitter where you lose thousands and sometimes millions of dollars. Carl the Moon, another very popular YouTube, I think lost $1.4 million on Terra Luna. It's crazy because this thing a week ago essentially was over $100. Now it's down to Shiba Inu levels back in 2021, which just wild. But all right, there's the chart. You could see that how much it's fluctuating right now. But I want to jump into this article here. And Kwon, of course, heading up the Terra blockchain, pitches a revival plan for the Terra blockchain with distributions to Luna and UST holders. So bear with me here. We do want to break this down a little bit. There's a couple details here. So hang in there, hit that like button, subscribe real quick right now if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, welcome in. The Terra community must reconstitute the chain to preserve the community and the developer ecosystem. This is coming straight from Kwon. That's a quote. Such a restart now, as the proposal states, would create 1 billion tokens. Listen to this, 1 billion tokens to be distributed back to various community stakeholders. That means people who are still holding Terra are going to get a piece of these 1 billion tokens. Why are they doing this? Well, the thinking goes that this approach would help incentivize the community to hang in there and stick around. And hopefully, this works. I mean, this is part of the plan here so people don't, just run off, into the sunset and move on from Terra altogether. There's another quote here from Kwon saying, while UST, that's the stable coin, the algorithmic stable coin that is supposed to be pegged to the US dollar, it collapsed. We'll see if it ever comes back. He says, while UST has been the central narrative of Terra's growth story over the last year, the Terra ecosystem and its community is what is worth preserving. It's crazy. I was in Bitcoin Miami, by the way. We'll continue reading here in just a minute. But Mike Novogratz, super influential guy in the crypto world, got a Terra tattoo, was talking so highly of it. Crazy, right? Just a month ago, and now it's collapsed. Kwon's proposed plan calls for 40% of the tokens to go to Luna holders before the UST depegging, 40% to go to UST holders pro rata at the time of the new network upgrade. 10% to Luna holders before the chain halt, and 10% to the community pool. So this is how the 1 billion tokens are to be distributed here once this goes live. He goes on to say Terra needs a community to continue to grow and make its block space valuable again. The only way that they believe they can do this is to make sure that current token holders, before they leave, to keep the loyal base happy, right? And keep them around. And hopefully this plan works. We'll see. I mean, we're going to be covering this for a little while here on the channel. He goes on to say, it's hard to balance and no easy answers in redistributing value within the network, but value must be distributed to allow the ecosystem to survive. And in its current state, it will not. So basically, he's trying to spread out the wealth and get more people to stick around while they try to build this thing back up. How it happened, nobody really knows yet. But I'll go back to what Charles Hoskinson put out a few days ago. Now, that tweet has since been deleted. Everybody said he was, all full of what. But I still think that's the only real thing that I've heard that sounds pretty legit, is that BlackRock and Citadel pretty much, market manipulation at its finest, dumped all their UST. Now, whether or not this is true, I don't know. But I haven't heard anything else that even comes close to this. And of course, BlackRock and Citadel and Gemini come out and say, no, we didn't do anything wrong. We'll see. I mean, maybe the story will come out, but my instincts tell me we'll probably never know what exactly happened here. But it's become a complete degen play now. It's crazy, right? Terra is a top 10 crypto, and now it's way down there with 4 or 5 zeros. It's fluctuating heavily. We'll see what happens. We'll see if this plan that Kwon wants to put together actually works. I'm sure we'll be covering, this on an ongoing basis here on the channel. So let me know your thoughts about all this down below. Drop a comment. If you're holding Luna, I want to hear from you too down there as well. And we'll see what happens. Thanks so much for tuning in. See ya.